Dear friends, last year I visited the Skarloey Railway, hoping to see my friends Sir Handel and Rusty. To my surprise, they weren't there. The other engines soon told me that they had gone away to Wales, taking part in the Audrey Extravaganza, which is a celebration of all things Sodor and the stories written by the Thin Clergyman. So when they returned, I was gifted with some wonderful tales. Sir Handel said that the events in some of these stories are duly exaggerated, but according to Rusty, this is all fact. I'll leave it up to you to decide who's right. Otherwise, I might be wished the next time I see Sir Handel. Sincerely, the author.
Sir Handel sulked in the shed. "It's not fair," he grumbled. "Peter, Sam and Duncan gallivant off to Towern and pull special trains while we're stuck here doing their work. When do I get to go?" "At the rate you're going," Skarloey smirked, "probably never." Sir Handel just scowled as he puffed away grumpily to take his next train. Peter Sam, who'd been quietly listening at the back of the shed, felt sorry for Sir Handel. The next day, he approached the Thin Controller. "That's a splendid idea, Peter Sam," the Thin Controller beamed. "I'll discuss it with their manager and see if we can make arrangements." A few months passed. Sir Handel had nearly forgotten about his complaints, when one morning the Thin Controller approached with an excited grin. "Sir Handel, I have some very important news for you." Sir Handel looked up confused. "What is it, sir?" "You've been selected to visit Towern for the annual Audrey Extravaganza." Sir Handel's face lit up. "Have I, sir? Oh, thank you, sir." Then the Thin Controller turned to Rusty. "Rusty, you'll also be going." Rusty beamed. "Thank you so much, sir." The Thin Controller nodded. "We must get you prepped for the journey. While you're away, an engine from the Talyllyn Railway will take over your duties." The news soon spread, and the other engines were eager to know who would be coming. "I hope it's my twin Talyllyn," said Skarloey. "I heard he's been overhauled and painted a striking blue." "Maybe it's Tom Rolt," suggested Rusty. "Or it could be Edward Thomas," Peter Sam peeped. "We'll find out soon enough," said Duke. Duke was right. A few days later, a smart light blue engine arrived. He was carefully unloaded from his wagon and steamed into the yard. Peter Sam gasped. "Douglas!" The new engine smiled. "Hello, Peter Sam. How have you been?" "I'm doing well," Peter Sam beamed. "How was your journey?" Quite pleasant," Douglas replied in his strong voice. "Those big Sodor engines sure know what they're doing." But before they could talk further, a sharp whistle rang out. "Oh no," muttered Douglas. Duncan rolled into the yard with a slate train. He slowed down, narrowed his eyes, and glared at the newcomer. "What are you doing here?" he asked with barely concealed annoyance. "I'm here to look after Rusty and Sir Handel's work while they're away." Duncan huffed. "Why'd they pick you? I'd preferred another engine." Douglas ignored him and smirked. "I see you've been painted red again." Didn't like being blue, I take it. Peter Sam looked puzzled. Blue? Douglas chuckled. Oh yes, last year Duncan grumbled so much that our manager painted him blue, hoping it would improve his attitude. But alas, it was all in vain. Peter Sam burst out laughing. Oh dear, Duncan, even when you're on holiday you complain. Duncan was fuming. Without a word, he let off steam in annoyance and stormed off to fetch his next train. Soon, the yardmaster approached the little blue engine. Douglas, you'll be double-heading a train around the loop to familiarize yourself with the line. Oh, yes, sir. Which train will I be joining? Duncan's passenger service. It leaves in 15 minutes. Douglas rolled his eyes and backed onto the train. Ugh, not you again, sighed Duncan. Do I need to talk to the thing controller about getting you a new paint job? Douglas teased. Maybe I should suggest painting you blue again. Duncan just grumbled as they set off. Recently, a new road had been built near the railway, along with a new level crossing. The construction crew had declared it safe, but in their haste, they had left some tools behind, right on the track. As Duncan and Douglas approached the crossing, they spotted a toolbox lying on the track. Look out! Douglas shouted. Both engines braked hard, but it was too late. With a crunch, Douglas hit the toolbox. Douglas groaned as his front wheels were derailed. Are you alright? Duncan asked, concerned. I think so, Douglas sighed. He hesitated before adding, Duncan, I shouldn't have laughed at you. I'm sorry. Duncan sighed. Ugh, and I'm sorry too. I'll let my grumpiness get the better of me. I couldn't complain when my own brother visits. The two engines chuckled. Now came the hard part, getting Douglas back on the rails. The firemen, drivers, guard, and even a few passengers worked together to lever Douglas back onto the tracks. With that, the two brothers laughed as they puffed home, this time side by side. Sir Handel and Rusty had been pushed onto their truck, ready for their journey to Talwyn. Goodbye, everyone, shouted Sir Handel as Douglas backed down onto the wagon. He glanced over to see a small blue engine next to him. The little engine's cab gleamed in the sunlight, and on his side, his nameplate read Douglas. The Scottish engine blinked. Hold on a minute. No one ever said there was another Douglas. The little blue engine chuckled. It seems we share a good name. Indeed, I never thought I'd meet another engine with me own name, replied the Scottish twin. You'll have to meet me brother Donald. He would love to meet you. Likewise. Soon the guard's whistle blew as Douglas set off. Well, it was nice to meet you, Douglas. We'll talk soon, said the little blue engine. Farewell. All the engines whistled and cheered as Sir Handel and Rusty set off on their journey. Douglas, the little blue engine, started off and continued his work. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, Donald was helping deliver ballast from the miniature railway to Thomas's branch. A storm had hit a few days before, which washed away some of the ballast along the branch. A go-slow order was put in place until it could be fully repaired. Percy had been waiting at the junction when Donald arrived. "Hello, Percy. Here's your ballast. Harpo's well on the branch considering." "It's been hard, but we on the branch line are always up for the challenge," smirked Percy. "Right you are," chuckled Donald. Soon, both engines exchanged their wagons. "Say, have you gotten to meet Douglas yet?" said Percy innocently. "He's a lovely engine. I really think you'll hit it off with him." Donald was confused, but before he could answer, the guard blew his whistle and Percy departed. "I think poor Percy has a few screws loose," said Donald as he left for the big station. Donald arrived at the harbour by the big station, just as Henry was preparing to leave with a heavy freight train. "Oi, Henry! Can I ask you something?" Donald called. "Oh, of course, Donald. What's the matter?" Henry replied. Percy told me that he had recently met Douglas," Donald said in confusion. "Oh, yes, I've met Douglas too," Henry replied. "Really kind engine. Just between you and me though, Donald, he's much better than his brother." Donald narrowed his eyes, insulted. "If you're gonna insult me, Henry, just say it plainly." Henry hesitated, then realized dawned. "But I'm not... Oh, no, I see. But before he could say any more, the guard's whistle blew. "Oh, I better go, Donald. I'll explain tonight at the sheds, don't you worry," Henry said hurriedly. And with that, he steamed out of the harbour. Donald was more confused than ever. Donald's next job was to collect slate from the Skarloey Railway. As he entered the siding where his trucks were, he noticed a small blue engine waiting nearby. His eyes widened as he caught sight of the engine's nameplate. "Oh my goodness! There's another Douglas on Sodor?" "That explains everything," Donald explained, finally understanding the confusion. The little blue engine chuckled. "You must be Donald. I saw Douglas this morning. He spoke very highly of you." "Really?" Donald asked, surprised. "Yes, really. Lovely chap," the engine replied with a warm smile. Donald beamed with pride. "Aye, that he is." As he set off with his train of slate, he blew his whistle. He couldn't help but feel grateful, not just for the clarification, but for the small reminder of the bond he shared with his twin.
Sir Handel and Rusty had finally arrived at Talwyn. Since the old mainline siding had been removed, a crane carefully lifted them onto the tracks. Sir Handel looked around eagerly, his eyes widening with excitement. Last time I was here, Rusty, it looked nothing like this. It's almost unrecognisable. They've done a fantastic job, he said, taking in all the new buildings and improvements. Rusty chuckled as he looked around at his new surroundings. Enjoy your trip, you two. I'll see you in a couple of days, called Douglas as he rumbled away. Sir Handel was thrilled to be back, but for Rusty, this was his first time visiting Talwyn. He'd seen plenty of photos of Wharf and all the other stations, but seeing everything in person was a different experience. He'd been a little nervous about the trip, but he knew he'd soon make good friends with the engines here. Sir Handel, however, couldn't stop chattering and wheezing steam in excitement, until he suddenly fell silent. His expression changed as a familiar engine passed beneath the bridge. Both engines locked eyes, scowling at each other. "What is he doing here?" Sir Hayden barked. "He's here for the Audrey extravaganza," his driver explained. Sir Hayden rolled up beside Sir Handel, neither saying a word. Rusty started to get a strange sense of deja vu. Sir Hayden's driver finally broke the tense silence. "Come on now. Let's get back to the sheds. You've all got a busy day ahead of you tomorrow." Sir Handel and Rusty set off back to back, heading towards the sheds, while Sir Hayden busied himself putting away his carriages. As Sir Handel and Rusty entered the sheds, the little diesel looked around. It felt oddly familiar, similar to the sheds back on Sodor. The thought made him feel a little more at ease. Inside, several engines were already there. "Hello, Sir Handel. It's nice to see you back," said Edward Thomas warmly. "Thank you, Edward Thomas," Sir Handel replied with a smile. "It's good to be back." "We're all glad to have you here. It's nice to see a Sodor engine again," Edward Thomas continued. "And let me say, I haven't forgotten about you, Rusty." Rusty looked up surprised. "You know me?" he sputtered. "Of course we do. You're famous. Your brother Midlander would love to meet you. And I think I can speak for most of the engines here when I say we're all happy to have you." Rusty beamed, feeling more at ease. Just then, Sir Hayden puffed into the sheds. "Well, Rusty, I'm glad you came along. Otherwise this trip would have been ruined by his arrival." Sir Handel snorted. "Sir Hayden, that is no way to speak to our visitors," Dolgok scolded. "Oh, sorry, Dolgok," Sir Hayden muttered. After that, the engines settled into a quiet silence, and before long, they drifted off to sleep. Sir Handel and Sir Hayden would have their time to argue soon enough, but I mustn't say any more, or I'll spoil the next story. It was the first big day of the Audrey extravaganza. Crowds filled the station, eager to catch a glimpse of either Sir Handel or Rusty.
Sir Handel was still being prepared, so in the meantime, many railway enthusiasts gathered around Rusty, asking about Sodor and the stories from their home. Rusty was even interviewed and was surprised with a card and a cake to celebrate the occasion. Soon, a loud whistle could be heard as Sir Hayden and Sir Handel backed down into the yard. Neither engine had spoken to each other since the night before, but Sir Handel forgot to be cross when he saw all the people who had come to see him. "It's good to know people are excited to see a real celebrity," Sir Handel said. "We're both celebrities, Sir Handel. You know that." But Sir Handel just ignored him, basking in the attention as cameras and phones pointed his way. A few minutes later, people mumbled and screamed as a lady walked in front of Sir Handel. By this time, Sir Handel had moved off and was resting in front of the crowd. Everyone stopped and paid her attention. She welcomed Sir Handel to the railway and officially announced his handover. Sir Handel was so delighted that he let off a burst of steam right in the middle of her speech. The crowd giggled, including Sir Handel, but not Sir Hayden.
"He's going to get a big head again,"
Sir Hayden mumbled.
"You know what he's like when he gets a big head?"
Rusty overheard what Sir Hayden said. "Is that why you both don't get on?" Sir Hayden was taken aback, but agreed. "He gets on my nerves, Rusty. Apparently, the last time he was here, it was all about him. I can't deal with that sort of engine. When I returned home from overhaul, the others told me what Sir Handel was like, so I told them up front what I thought about his attitude. And after that, we didn't really see eye to eye." "I understand," said Rusty. "Sir Handel can get awfully stuck up, but soon someone puts him in his place. Remind me later to tell you about George." Rusty winked. Sir Hayden smiled. He liked the little diesel. As the speeches ended, the day's events kicked off in full swing. All the engines were taking trains up and down the line. Later that day, Sir Handel was waiting for Dolgok to enter the station when a small red car raced in front of him. "Oh, you must be Sir Handel," said the car. "And who might you be?" Sir Handel replied, unimpressed. "I'm Car, 2 R's. We're racing each other later today." "Racing you?" Sir Handel scoffed. "Don't make me laugh. I could beat you any day." Car's smile faded as he drove off. "Can't wait to beat him later," Sir Handel muttered with a smug grin. As soon as Carr left, Dolgok backed onto the train. "Oh, hello, Dolgok. Renius?" No. You're right, Sir Handel. It's me, Dolgok," Dolgok said, smiling. "Oh, sorry, Dolgok, but why do you have Renius's nameplates? You haven't stolen them, have you?" Sir Handel said in confusion. Dolgok just chuckled. "No, of course not. These are fake. We wear them for these special events to make enthusiasts feel like they're on Sodor." "I see," Sir Handel said, still kind of confused. "Wait until you hear about Days Out with Thomas," said Alf, dressed as Fred. The day went well. Passengers were thrilled to ride with Sir Handel and take in the views along the line. Sir Handel enjoyed himself too, and soon found himself waiting at the platform with Sir Hayden at the back of the train, ready for his race against Carr. Carr had parked on top of the bridge overhead.
You ready to lose, youngster? Sir Handel said smugly. Carr looked determined. You'll have to keep up with me. The station master raised his whistle. Ready, go! Carr sped away, while Sir Handel and Sir Hayden began to pick up steam. Come on, Sandal, come on, urged the coaches. I'm getting there, he puffed. But as soon as Sir Handel started to gain momentum, he had to stop at the next station. He glanced over and saw Carr already at the crossing. He is fast, Sir Handel admitted to himself. Back on the move, Sir Handel pushed hard. Come on, he wheezed. Sir Handel went as fast as he could. We can do it, he said. They passed stations and went under bridges. Soon, they saw the final station, but Sir Handel's smirk turned sour when he saw Carr already parked by the crossing. Sir Handel was out of breath. How are you so quick? Carr grinned. Oh, you know, just what you expect from a youngster. Sir Handel frowned, then sighed. Carr, I'm sorry for what I said earlier. That was uncalled for. You are fast. Thank you, Sir Handel. But don't feel too bad, because if you ever come back, we'll have to race again. Carr winked. You're on, Sir Handel peeped. And with that, Sir Handel headed back to Wharf. When he arrived back, he uncoupled from the train and came side by side with Sir Hayden. I owe you an apology, he said. Sir Hayden looked surprised, but apprehensive. I overheard you talking to Rusty earlier, and I know I haven't been the easiest to deal with, so I just wanted to apologize for how I treated you. Sir Hayden smiled. No, I'm the one who's sorry. I shouldn't have lashed out at you when you were last here, and I should have kept my cool when you arrived yesterday. Sir Handel looked down. No, I understand where you were coming from. You had the right to tell me that my actions were wrong. That's very mature of you, Sir Handel. The Sir Handel I know a few years ago would have never apologized. The two engines beamed at each other. They were now friends again. The next day came. Both Sir Handel and Rusty enjoyed their day. Both of them loved the railway, and Rusty loved his new friends he had made at Towton. Sir Handel double-headed trains with his brother, both smiling at the cameras. You were right, Sir Hayden. You are a famous engine. We're both famous, Sir Hayden replied. Soon it came to an end, and people began packing up to go home. Sir Handel and Rusty were loaded onto a flatbed behind Douglas. Goodbye, they called. Please come visit again. You have such a lovely line. We would love to visit again, Rusty said cheerfully. Douglas laughed in joy as the guard blew his whistle and the train set home.
no end to what we can do together. There is no end. The willow turns its back on clever weather, and if he can do it, we can do it.
It was late when Sir Handel and Rusty had finally arrived back on Sodor. They were unloaded from Douglas's wagon and shunted to the sheds. Peter Sam was the first to speak. "How was it, Sir Handel and Rusty?" "It was a lot of fun. We met so many people." Rusty grinned. Douglas perked up. "How's everyone back at home doing?" "They're very well, Douglas. They wanted us to send their regards," Rusty replied. "They said you were going away for some time. Does that mean you'll be staying here for a while?" Just then, the Thing Controller arrived. "No, not exactly, Rusty," he said. "Douglas will be on display at the Severn Valley Railway for a while, before making the rounds as a promotion for the Talyllyn." Douglas cut in. "After this, my boiler certificate will be out of date," said the Blue Engine. "Oh, that's a shame," Duncan responded. He had hoped to have his brother stay a little longer. "Not to fret, Duncan. He'll be leaving next week, so no need to worry." This brought a smile to the little engine's face. Douglas worked hard all week, pulling trains and helping Rusty, updating the little diesel on what had been happening for the past couple of days. Finally, the week came to an end, and Douglas had to go home. All the Skarloey engines gathered at the wharf to say goodbye to Douglas. "Thank you for visiting," said Duncan. "No problems. One day I will return. Just you wait and see." With that, Henry blew his whistle, and Douglas was off to his next destination. Sir Handel looked over to Rusty. "So, if his boiler ticket has expired, who will be covering his work?" Sir Handel muttered. Rusty had a funny feeling they might return back to Townsend sooner than he thought.